Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so yesterday, in the evening for me, as you can see, 8:16 PM, the time of the tweet, we got this GIF tweeted out by I Seriously of Bardock, which of course, if you don't know by now, whenever I Seriously randomly tweets out a GIF of a character, it basically means that that is the next unit that is going to be coming to global, unless it specifies like JP or anything, right? So we were expecting, based on the schedule from JP, TEQ BARDOCK to be the next Dokkan Fest that was going to release. I did see some speculation that Yamcha was going to come out first, because Yamcha actually introduced the Warriors Raised on Earth category on JP, and when they shared the information for STR Carnival Goku, it showed that he was on Warriors Raised on Earth. And normally they don't just add these categories to the game randomly, right? They retroactively add characters to categories that they're on when those categories come out. So a lot of people thought that he would be next, but the tie-in for that is actually because we got the AGL Super Strike TN, and part of his passive revolves around Warriors Raised on Earth allies, so they couldn't remove that, which is why I talked about in my showcase for him yesterday, the kind of issues of him releasing before Yamcha. But if you haven't seen that, go check it out. So yeah, TEQ BARDOCK is coming up next. A lot of people were obviously around to make videos on the announcement when it first came out. I was quite busy yesterday, so this isn't a video just to say, hey, TEQ BARDOCK is coming, because you guys probably know that. We're going to sit and go through, have a look at the celebration preview, go through everything that JP got that we should be getting as part of the celebration, and then most importantly, we're going to look at the global schedule and just figure out exactly when this is actually going to release on global. So let me know your initial thoughts down below. I'm super excited about this. You guys know I love Bardock. You know, big theme of my channel is the Marseillan. I literally have like a Bardock keyring that you can see on my mic stand thing sometimes. So I am very excited for this and all the stuff that comes with the celebration. So let me know what you guys think, and let's go ahead and jump in and have a look. So this is the celebration as it released on JP. Overflowing Power Super Campaign. So it'll be interesting to see what Global decides to call it. So if we have a look down, obviously login bonus special missions, we get the Dokkan Festival banner. So this is the banner here. The new units released are the TEQ Dokkan Fest Bardock, and then a side banner Tora. And then the banner features Majin Vegeta, Super Vegeta, Broly, AGL Bardock transforming Frieza. So the banner, not great overall. Like, Bardock and Tora are obviously the units you want to get. Majin Vegeta still is really good and hasn't returned that many times on Global. So good opportunity to pick him up. Super Vegeta obviously has aged out of the more difficult content, but is still good for Super Battle Road. And then this Int Broly, I feel like he can still be kind of good, but he still doesn't have a 200% team. Doesn't really have a place in the meta at the moment. Because, like, you could run him on Cooler's Movie Boss's team, although he's only getting the 170 lead. But then he doesn't have any, like, really good partners. And as I say, he doesn't have a 200% leader skill. And then AGL Bardock, he's just super outdated now. He needs his EZA. And then Tech Transforming Frieza, even with his EZA, is starting to be a little bit outdated now. So Tora and Bardock are the main events. Bardock is a Goku family and storied figures leader with an extra 30% to Pure Saiyans. So this leader skill is very, very good, because remember, this is going to cover every single Goku, as well as every single Bardock. And then storied figures, Pure Saiyans, there's a lot of crossover with like the various different forms of Bardock. King Vegeta is on storied figures, who I'm sure one day will get a Dokkan Fest. Shout out to Toon. But this leader skill, obviously very good, right? Because you can basically just make like a full Goku and Bardock team that's all getting 200%. So very good leader skill. He greatly raises attack and defense for one turn on Super, which is obviously a good super attack effect. And then he has an entrance animation. A lot of people consider his to be one of the best in the game. Definitely is very cool. And then he randomly changes one key sphere of a certain type to Rainbow. You get 70% attack and foresees enemy super attacks for 5 turns from the start of the turn when there is an ally whose name includes Goku on the team, or an enemy whose name includes Frieza. So at the start of the turn, you get 2 key and 150% attack and defense. You get an additional attack and defense 40% with each super attack performed up to 120. Attacks effective against all types if you pick up 1 key sphere. Additional attack and defense 50% with 2 key spheres. And a guaranteed crit with 3 or more key spheres. So considering his super attack effect and the fact you can get guaranteed crits with rainbow orbs that he creates for 5 turns, you obviously want to go basically full additional on this guy, right? Get a second super, greatly raise your defense again. It'll be a guaranteed crit if you've got 3 orbs. So Bardock definitely can be very good. He also has an active skill, the Final Spirit Cannon, does ultimate damage and is a guaranteed crit. It also means his attacks for the rest of the turn are guaranteed crits, so you don't have to worry about getting 3 rainbow orbs. Or of course, if that effect is worn off, because he only creates rainbow orbs for 5 turns, he then still gets the crits for the rest of that turn. And you can use his active skill on turn 3 if there are 3 or more Team Bardock allies on the team, or when HP is 50% or less from the 5th turn. So obviously Team Bardock allies seems like a bit of a... I guess like a year or so ago it would have been a really bad restriction, but there are a couple of really good Team Bardock units in the game at the moment, like the Physical Farsha and obviously the Int Tora that's coming out with this guy. So he's got pretty decent links and he's on a ton of teams. So I think TEQ Bardock is definitely very good. I think people underrate him. He's not like a top 10 TUR, but he is super, super good. Or maybe he is when he comes out on Global, I don't know. We'll see once he releases. And then he comes out with this Tora. It is a bit of a shame that the unit is just called Tora, because it has all of them in the card. And I don't think... They wouldn't lose any categories, would they? They would just gain joined forces if the card was all of them except Bardock, which I think would have been better, because then it would be a new, uniquely named unit for their team. I guess the only Tora you would really be using instead is the free-to-play tech one, but... This guy pretty decent. Raises attack for 1 turn, does supreme damage to the enemy, raises superclass allies attack by 30%. Key 2 attack and defense 150, additional 50% attack and defense when performing a super, additional 20% attack and defense per storied figures ally on the team, and all of Team Bardock are on that category, right? So you can get that full buff running the full Team Bardock team. Chance to crit, chance to dodge, and damage reduction 10% per Team Bardock ally in the same turn. So you can basically have 30% crit chance, 30% dodge, and 30% damage reduction on a Team Bardock team build, which is really good. And then you get storied figures category 3 key and 30% attack and defense. All allies attack and defense 30% in addition when your team has an ally whose name includes Bardock in the turn. So obviously you can see this like supercharges the Bardock team because you have these 2 guys on rotation, and then storied figures are getting 60% support, which is obviously very, very powerful. And then they share a lot of links with Bardock. They're on a lot of these teams together. So these guys, obviously not as good if you don't get the TEQ Bardock, but kind of like Hachan with Kid Goku, if you pull Bardock, you really do want to pull this guy because he juices up the team like crazy. So very, very good. So going back to the celebration, we got the banner, obviously the Dokkan Fest event. This Ginyu Force and Team Bardock release campaign just got tweeted out, just came out on Global like, what, 2 days ago maybe. So if you've already done the Ginyu Force and Team Bardock, the free-to-play grind, you'll have already got all of these missions complete, which was cool. Just an extra 10 stones and I think some dozing Kais. Obviously there will be sales. We got the returning challenge event of the Breaking the Siege. I actually can't remember if it resets or not, because if it doesn't, then obviously there's not much point doing it. But if it does, you can get some extra stones and rewards out of it. There was a Battlefield reset. This is obviously something that could be different, because it kind of depends when Battlefield is scheduled to reset. However, if I look at the menu, it does say Battlefield resets in 9 days. Anyway, in-game right now at the time of recording. So the next big thing you can see here, Super Saiyan 3 Bardock is getting his EZA, new Extreme Z battle, but also you can see the Mars Saiyan EZA, new characters are able to be Extreme Z awakened. So even if you're not super hype about summoning for Bardock, this part of the celebration is hugely hype for me because of these characters. So we have the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock EZA coming out. Obviously we'll do a team building guide for that. But Super Saiyan 3 Bardock's EZA is very, very good, right? Super Saiyan 3 category goes up to full 170 lead, and Super Int types 3 key 120. He raises defense for 1 turn on Super and seals the enemy super attacks. He gets 3 key attack and defense 120, additional attack and defense 100% when performing a super. Remember, on super buffs actually feature in support. So, say, for example, you've got him and then that Tora on the turn, who's giving 60% support if there's a Bardock. He factors that all in and then gets 100% attack and defense when performing a super. So, he can be very powerful. He also gives superclass allies 50% attack. That's it. That's unconditional. So, that's incredibly powerful. Launches an additional super attack guaranteed when there is a power beyond Super Saiyan ally attacking in the same turn. So then obviously he gets another defense raise for 1 turn, and then he can get the additional from his hidden potential and raise defense again. So this Bardock can actually be really good. Even as a floating support unit, you can use him as a support unit on a Power Beyond Super Saiyan team, and then in that slot 3, he's always going to be getting at least 2 super attacks. And then, yeah, 50% attack is a huge amount to give to some of these really powerful units that you can run him with. So that is super, super good. And then from the Saiyan one, these are sub-easy A's. So you can, if you want to, go ahead and farm these medals already. I have already done this. So as you can see, you need, what, 36 of the silver, of the bronze, gold, and rainbow medals, and then 60 of the silver medals to easy A all 3 of these units straight away. I have, like I say, I have already done this. I'm not sure if the Saiyan Easy A is up at the moment, but if you have a bunch of those Easy A keys for the Portal of Memories, those are literally, like, doing Easy A's with them is the only thing you can use them for. So it's not like if you use them to do an Easy A, you then suddenly can't do, like, a story event that you want to farm or something like that. So you can go ahead and do those early if you find yourself with nothing to do. But these Easy A's are very good. So the TEQ Bardock, raise attack and defense for 1 turn, seals super attacks. He changes SDR orbs to TEQ. He gets 130 attack and 180 defense, and then an additional 30% attack and defense per TEQ key sphere obtained. 30% per orb is a lot, especially when you create your own, and you create them based on a specific type. So on the turn before this Bardock is going to be on rotation, you can deliberately leave a bunch of STR orbs on the field, and then he's going to create a ton of TEQ orbs. Then he gets an additional attack and defense 18% per key sphere obtained. I think that's if they're non-TEQ orbs. Yeah, TEQ key spheres excluded. So even if you have to pick up a bunch of non-TEQ orbs, he still does get that nuking style effect. He has a medium chance to launch an additional super when you get 3 or more orbs, and then attack 50% and a guaranteed crit with 8 or more orbs. So 8 is a lot, but he can create his own. The only problem is he's not really a slot 1 unit, so if he turns like half the field into TEQ orbs and you can't avoid picking them up before it gets to his turn, that can be a little bit annoying. But he's just a straight up, like, all of his buffs are for himself. So the better option, who is also a Super Saiyan Bardock, is the physical one. He greatly raises defense for 1 turn on super, supreme damage and seals, 318% defense start of turn, attack 180 when performing a super, all allies 2 key and attack and defense 30%. He guards all attacks within the same turn after receiving an attack. So annoyingly, that means the first attack that he takes, his guard will then activate after that. So the first attack, he can get blasted in certain situations. You do have to be careful. And then he gets an additional defense 30% within the same turn that guard is activated. So what that means is you get hit for the first hit, and it's just a normal hit. Then his guard is activated. Then you get hit with a second hit, which you guard. And then getting hit by that gives you 30% defense. So the third hit you take is when he's then basically not going to take any damage, but that means you do have to be careful. Like, if you put him in a slot where there's a few attacks coming and a super attack is the first one, then obviously he still can get absolutely rocked, so you do need to be careful. But he's a very good support unit. I've been waiting for these Easy A's to come out because this guy is on teams that really need help for extra supports that are actually good, like Super Saiyans, Exploding Rage, Revenge, Crossover, Powerful Comeback. The TEQ Goku team really needed another good support unit. And then obviously Storied Figures, Legendary Existence, and of course he is on Bond of Parent and Child, which I think is kind of funny considering Super Saiyan Bardock is not even canon, let alone met Goku. But yeah, still good that he's on that team, right? So very, very good unit. And then the Super Saiyan 2 Bardock gets his Easy A, which is good. It's another uniquely named unit. He raises attack for 6 turns, does supreme damage with a high chance to stun. Key 3, attack and defense 180. Additional defense 50 with each super attack performed up to 180. So you can get up to a pretty decent amount of defense. He does launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super. So you can double super with him and therefore potentially triple because of the hidden potential. He also launches another additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super with another Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 ally in the same turn. And then he gives all allies 30% attack. So if you're running him as a slot 3 floater, for example, and then you have like Super Saiyan 3 Bardock in slot 2, this guy gets 2 potential additionals from his hidden potential. He could super attack 4 times. and then on the first turn, he would have fully built up his defensive passive, and you'd get a few like stacks out of this as well. So this guy can actually look pretty good. The only downside is that base defense is all that he builds up. He doesn't get any major benefit from additional supering within that turn once his passive is fully built up. So you'd obviously have to be careful about some of the harder hitting bosses potentially destroying him. So very, very good easy A's, all of these. So very much looking forward to these. And then I think that's basically it. There's a Chain Battle versus Frieza. Everyone loves Chain Battle. And then a new Super Battle Road stage. So the important question is, when is this going to come out on global? So if we take the look at the timeline from last year, obviously we are in February right now. We had a Dokkan Fest release, which was Kid Goku at the beginning of the month. And then if we scroll down here, we got to the Part 2 LR in February last year, released on the 15th. This is exactly where Carnival Goku released the other day. So we are following this pattern exactly. And then as we scroll down, we can see we got a bunch of easy A's and stuff. That was it for February. And then as we went into March, the AGL Trunks literally dropped on the 1st of March. So if we look at the calendar, bearing in mind that the Chain Battle, the Ultimate Clash says that it's going to reset in 9 days. 9 days from now basically takes us to the 1st of March. So we should see this follow on in line with last year's schedule, and we should see TEQ Bardock release on the 1st of March. And then TEQ Bardock Celebration will feature all of this stuff that we went through. It didn't have a Part 2 LR, because then that fits in perfectly for the 18th of March, where Saiyan Day comes out with the Saiyan Day Dokkan Fest exclusive and side banner unit. So the way it's looking as of now, the schedule should follow the same pattern as last year, and Bardock should release on the 1st of March, which is a Wednesday evening in the UK, or it'll be the second Thursday morning for me, which ties in exactly with the same day that Carnival Goku came out earlier this week. So basically 2 weeks after the release of Carnival Goku is when we should see Bardock come out. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you excited to summon for Bardock? Are you just excited for the easy A's? Are you not excited about the celebration at all? Let me know. Like I say, I think the easy A's are all very useful unit. Well, I guess the TEQ Bardock not as much, but physical Super Saiyan Bardock, STR Super Saiyan 2, Int Super Saiyan 3, all very useful units on the teams that you can run them on. So for me personally, I am very excited. And yes, you guys will get to see the return. We will be doing another all Bardock team, because this guy gives the 200% leader skill to all the Bardocks in the game, and that includes Super Saiyan 4 Bardock. And Super Saiyan 4 Bardock needs crossover allies, which all of the non-base Bardocks are on. So that team's actually going to slap. I'm really looking forward to using that. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.